Hello ladies and gentlemen, Scared2 here bringing you another Minecraft Modern Warfare aircraft tutorial. In this tutorial we'll be going ahead and building the Westland Lynx. The Westland Lynx is a British multi-purpose twin-engine military helicopter designed and built by Westland Helicopters at its factory in Yeovil. Originally intended as a utility craft for both civil and naval usage, military interest led to the development of both battlefield and naval variants. The Lynx went into operational usage in 1977 and was later adopted by the armed forces of over a dozen nations, primarily serving in the battlefield utility, anti-armor, search and rescue, and anti-submarine warfare roles. The Lynx is a fully acrobatic helicopter with the ability to perform loops and rolls. In 1986, a specially modified Lynx set the current Federation Aeronautica International's official airspeed record for helicopters at 400.87 kilometers per hour or 249 miles per hour, which remains unbroken as of 2020. Several land and naval variants of the Lynx have been produced along with some major derivatives. The Westland 30 was produced as a civil utility helicopter. It was not a commercial success and only a small number were built during the 1980s. In the 21st century, a modernized variant of the Lynx was added to a multi-role combat helicopter designated as the Augusta Westland AH.Mk.1 Wildcat. The Wildcat is intended to replace the existing Lynx helicopters. So yeah, the Westland Lynx here, a really awesome helicopter. I would say probably one of my favorite modern helicopters, honestly. I've actually loved this helicopter. I have seen a display model in person in the PMA Air and Space Museum in Tucson, Arizona, and it is quite an awesome looking helicopter. And it just has a really cool shape to it, and it's just a really overall clean looking helicopter. I mean, that's all I can really say about it. So definitely happy to do a tutorial for this one and to release it to you guys for you all to enjoy. We obviously have it in the gray and green camo scheme as we do with most of our kind of Cold War into early Modern Warfare British designs. I think that this color scheme is just absolutely amazing, and always happy to incorporate this on my builds whenever I can. Before we go and move into taking a look at the build though, I do want to go ahead and give a special thanks to Patreon supporter Derek Frost Westbrook for making this tutorial possible. As always, if you're interested in supporting the channel more you already do, feel free to check out my Patreon page. Link is always in my video descriptions where you can go and pledge a small amount to the channel every month, and in doing so earn a video request of your choosing. Really helps support the work I do on my channel, is really greatly appreciated, so definitely feel free to check that out. Again, link will be down in the video description. With that though, let's go and dive in here to take a look at the Westland Lynx. So this one here is kind of a modified combat variant. I would say this is probably more of for the army role rather than a naval capacity. But this right here is equipped with some rocket pods on the sides, and it also does have a 20mm cannon. At least I believe it's a 20mm cannon. Could be a different caliber, but it's got basically a cannon here on the side that's mounted on to give it that extra firepower. The specific version we have in front of us is the AH.Mk.1. So more of the attack helicopter type of role. But yeah, we have the front of the aircraft here, the nose, we have the landing gear and all that stuff, and the fuselage of the aircraft going all the way back to the rear tail rotor, obviously the main rotor set and all that stuff. But overall, really nice looking helicopter, lots of really good detail overall, and will make an awesome addition to any of your Modern Warfare maps in a British military basically requirement. Anyways though, that's going to do it for this overview. Let's go and move into the tutorial by beginning with our first layer, layer number 1. Alright guys, so moving into our first layer, we're going to be going ahead and start with layer number 1. A few things I want to mention before we go ahead and jump into this tutorial is, first off, we will be going ahead and doing this half on, half off. What this means is I'm going to be building the center line of every layer, and then it'll be up to you guys to take the right side, or we're going to go and then build the right side after the center line, and then it'll be up to you guys to take the right side and copy it over to the left side. In addition to that, we will be building the aircraft in a completely gray color scheme, and going back and adding the green will be kind of up to you guys in a sense. I highly encourage looking at photos of actual camouflage versions to kind of replicate the camouflage proportionally, or I will be showing you guys a few different views of my camouflage version, so you can go ahead and modify yours accordingly if you do want to copy exactly what I did. And with that all the way, I'm pretty sure that's it out of what I need to cover. Just a fun thing also, if you are interested in maybe seeing the actual aircraft built in live time and kind of seeing the building process that goes behind for building a vehicle of this sort, I did do a live stream not too long ago. I believe it is live stream number 60, in which I do actually build this helicopter in lifetime. So if you are wanting to see a little bit behind the scenes of the building process and all that stuff, feel free to check out that as well in my past live streams. Anyways, let's go ahead and dive into this build. So beginning with, we're going to be going ahead and starting off with placing down a row of 2 of Dark Oak with trapdoors. Now this right here is going to be on the top portion of the block and not here on the bottom. If you want to have this aircraft landed, you'll just go ahead and very simply basically build your skids here, or basically this layer here around the ground. If you're up in the air, just note that this is the lowest point of the helicopter, so just make sure you have enough clearance. But anyways, we have our 2 Dark Oak with trapdoors there. We're going to go ahead and then go forward from the Dark Oak with trapdoors, place down a block like so. This block will be deleted later. A polished blackstone top slab to the side, and then a polished blackstone slab. Well, again, we'll delete that block there. We're going to then place down a Dark Oak with trapdoor here toward the front, then a Wither Skeleton Skull on the side of that trapdoor. Then going back from that slab, we're going to place down 1, 2, 3, and 4 trapdoors. Then another polished blackstone stair, and then on the end here, we're going to place down a green shulker box on its side like so. Now, coming off the shulker box, we want to go ahead and grab ourselves an item frame. We're going to place down an item frame like so, and then we want to go and then place down a iron bar in the item frame like that. And once we have that all done right there, you're going to take the same thing we did on the right side here, copy it over to the left side, and once you have that done, you're pretty much good to go for this layer. One thing I'm going to go ahead and quickly change real quick is that these Dark Oak trapdoors are actually going to be iron trapdoors. That will be part of the fuselage there, so that will be in that tan, or to show you there's that gray color scheme that we'll be going ahead and doing for the aircraft. Anyways though, that right there is going to complete layer 1. Let's move on to layer number 2. Moved into our next layer, we have layer number 2. For layer 2 to get started with, here we're going to go to the top of these 2 iron trapdoors. Here we're going to place down 2 stone blocks on top of those. We're going to then go toward the front, which is going to be this direction this way. We're going to go forward 1 and 2 more stone blocks like so. At this point in time, if you are on Java, we're going to place down 2 pistons upside down like so. If you're not on Java, I'd recommend placing down a stone full block and a stone top slab. The reason behind the difference there, depending on what version you're on, is just due to the capabilities of using a special tool we can to modify the properties of these pistons. This tool is not available for Bedrock or Pocket Edition, and we'll be covering that tool a little bit later on in the tutorial. So just keep that in mind. Java, you can do this feature here, and any other versions, I'd recommend a stone block and a stone top slab instead. Anyways, after those 2 blocks there, we're going to place down 2 stone top slabs and then an iron trapdoor right there on the end. Going toward the rear, we're going to go and place down 1 more stone block past this one here, 2 pistons upside down, and a stone top slab on the end there, like that. After that, we're going to place down a iron trapdoor coming off this stone top slab here. Then back from that, we're going to place down 2 stone top slabs, or my bad, sorry, 2 stone top slabs. And then it's going to be a row of stone upside down stairs. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 upside down stone stairs. And a stone top slab here on the very end. Now once we get to this point here, we're going to go ahead and grab ourselves some end rods. We're going to go ahead and go to the second stair from front, place down an end rod, and then the stair right after it, a end rod like that out to the side. We're also going to place down a birchwood fence gate here, and open it toward that upside down stair like so. We also want to place down an end rod that'll be coming off this stone top slab, right like this to the side here as well. Now at this point here, depending on what version of the game you're on, there are a couple different options that you can do here. First is going to be, if you're on a version other than Java, we can place down a skeleton skull on the side of this end rod. So that will work for our purposes. However, the best bet here is for us Java players, we have a technique that we can use to actually put the lever coming off that end rod. To make this, it's really simple. We're going to place down a block that comes off this end rod by a space of 1. So you should have something that looks like this, and we're going to place down a lever on the side of that block. By going ahead and typing in our command right here, we're going to do /give space @p space Minecraft :debug _stick. Pressing enter will give you this glowing stick. By left clicking the lever, we'll get selected facing, and it should say a direction there in parentheses. By right clicking while crouching, you'll be able to rotate the lever until it basically comes off of this end rod. So just like that, and that right there will basically complete that right there. And you'll do the same thing there for both sides. So depending on what version, you can use a skeleton skull or do that lever technique. Now at this point here, on the left side only, we have the addition of the autocannon. Now this is something you could add to both sides if you really wanted to, but this is going off of the War Thunder model itself, which seems to be pretty accurate for the most part when it comes to weapon loadouts, and they only have this autocannon mounted on the left side of the aircraft. So That's why I decided to go ahead and keep this mounted to the left side and left side only. But again, if you want to, you could put it on both sides if you really want. Anyways though, real simple to build this. It's going to be 2 polished blackstone slabs coming off these 2 end rods, dark oak wood signs on the side of those slabs, a wither skeleton skull on this side of the slab facing toward the rear, and then we're going to place down 3 end rods going forward, and then a wither skeleton skull on the end. And again, that'll be on the left side and left side only. Taking a look at it from above, this is what it should look like for the top-down view. With that all complete, that right there is going to wrap up everything we have there for layer number 2, and with that, let's move on to layer number 3. Moving into our next layer, we have layer number 3. For layer 3 to go ahead and get started with here, we're going to place down a stone slab on top of this iron trapdoor. We're going to place down 2 stone blocks back from that slab, and then we're going to place down 2 black stained glass blocks. After those 2 black stained glass blocks, we're going to place down a black concrete block to kind of close the cockpit off. Since we do not have an interior for the aircraft, we're not going to go ahead and leave that space open and have that big void. So we'll just go ahead and close it off there with some black concrete. After that, we're going to go ahead and then take our stone blocks. We're going to go ahead and build a row down the center here. That's going to be a total of 8 long, followed by a upside down piston here on the ends. If you're on a different version other than Java, we'll place down a stone upside down stair instead where that piston is. After that block there, we're going to place down a stone top slab and then an iron trap door. We're going to go ahead and then skip a space coming off this iron trap door, and we're going to place down an end rod coming off that block. We're going to go then skip a space again, and then place down a polished black stone wall. We're going to go ahead and skip a space again, and we're going to place down a end rod that'll be coming down like so. And then we're going to skip another space and place down another end rod going back like that. So this is what it should look like here. And then deleting these blocks will basically give you something that looks like this here. For us Java players, we'll go ahead and take our debug stick. We'll left click our debug stick until we get the direction that's going to point this wall toward the front, and it may be a little bit different depending on what version you're on, but we're going to go ahead and basically left click that until we find our direction. So our direction here is going to be south. It's going to face toward the front, and we're going to go ahead and right click this 1 and 2 times to you get south to tall, and it will kind of extend a little bit there toward the front. And that right there is pretty much it for that. As we can go ahead and continue on by starting off by placing down a skeleton skull on the side of the slab here in the front, a light gray stained glass pane, black stained glass pane, a stone stair, an air stone stair coming off that one, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stone blocks back, 2 andesite walls, and then a skeleton skull on the side of that piston there on the end. After that's done, we're going to go then place down 2 skeleton skulls on the side of those stairs. Then after that, we're going to place down 1, 2, 3 light gray stained glass panes, then a stone brick upside down stair, followed by a iron trapdoor, and then 1, 2, and 3 blocks another right like so for your missile pods. And coming off the ends here of those blocks, we're going to place down a wood trapdoor like so, and then a end rod on top of this lever or skeleton skull right there in that section. At this point in time, for us Java players, we'll go ahead and then go down to these pistons here on the bottom. We'll left click these until we get selected extended false pop up on our screen. By right clicking those, it'll get rid of that wooden portion and kind of helps there with the shaping and flow there of the underside of the aircraft. One thing to take note of, and something that's very important, is that basically if you do change the piston settings, so let's say I go ahead and change this one here, and you place a block on top of it or basically around it or anywhere, it will cause the piston to reset back to its normal state. So just keep that in mind as you progress. Try not to touch those pistons just yet. And I did realize I did forget something down here, and that's going to be actually coming off this piston here. So we're going to place down a polished blackstone slab coming off this piston to connect up to our landing gear. And as you can see, exactly what I said happened, the pistons reset. So just go ahead and give those a right click, and then we'll basically revert them back to how we had them. Anyways though, that right there is going to pretty much wrap up what we have there for layer number 3. And with that, here's an overview of what it should look like. And we'll go ahead and now move into layer number 4. Moving into our next layer, we have layer number 4. For layer 4 to get started with here, we're going to begin with by placing down a dark oak fence gate on top of this stone block. We're going to have the fence gate opened up toward the rear of the aircraft. We're going to then place down an iron trap door, then 2 black stained glass blocks, then a black concrete block after that. We're going to go then take our stone blocks and place down a long row down the tail section here. That's going to be a total of 16 blocks long, 2 red concrete blocks on the back here, and then a stone upside down stair. On the bottom here of the tail, we're going to go ahead and go to this stone block here right after the iron trap door. We're going to place down a lever on the bottom of it like that. That should be aimed back to connect up to that end rod. And then the same thing on the back here will be done on the bottom of this red concrete block. Lever will be facing back toward that end rod like so. With that all complete, going back up to the front, we're going to place down a polished blackstone, or sorry, another brick wall this side of this block. a black stained glass block back from that one, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 stone blocks back, 1, 2, 3 andesite walls, 1, 2, 3 light gray stained glass panes. After that is all done there, we want to go ahead and then continue on by taking our birchwood buttons, and we're just going to place down 2 birchwood buttons on the sides of those 2 red concrete blocks. After that, going back up to the front, we're going to place down a black stained glass pane that will be coming off the side of this block here. And then we're going to go ahead and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 light gray stained glass panes back. And then another end rod on top of this one right here, like so. We're also going to place down a redstone comparator on top of this iron trapdoor like that. After that, we're going to place down an iron trapdoor on top of this polished blackstone, block of netherite, my bad. And then we're going to take stone buttons and place them down on either side of that iron trapdoor. And with that all complete there, that's going to basically wrap up everything we have there for that. And there is one final detail here, which is going to be involving an item frame and a iron bar. We're going to place down an item frame here on the side of the stone block and an iron bar in it like that. With that though, that is going to conclude what we have there for layer 4. And with that, let's move on to layer number 5. Alright guys, moving into our next layer, we have layer 5. For layer 5, to go ahead and get started with here, I'm going to place down a black stained glass pane on top of this block here, and then another black stained glass block going back for that glass pane. We're going to place down another black concrete block here, and then after that, we're going to place down a row of stone blocks. That's going to be a total of 9 going back. We're going to go then place down 2 pistons, 2 stone slabs, 3 daylight detectors, turn to night mode, a stone slab here, and then 1 and 2 stone full blocks, followed by a light gray stained glass pane like that on the back there. An alternative for those pistons probably would be a stone full block and then a stone slab instead of the 2 pistons. So again, an option there for you different version players. Going ahead and going back up to the front, we're going to place down a black stained glass pane coming off this one, a black stained glass block back, black concrete block back, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stone blocks, block of netherite, and a set wall like that, and then a skeleton skull coming off the side of this piston here like so. We can then take our debug stick and right click these 2 pistons on this top here to go ahead and set them like so. And the same thing could also be done for this piston down here on the bottom. That can be set like that. After that's all complete though, we want to go ahead and then take our light gray stained glass paints. We're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 again, like that on the side. And then we're going to place down a end rod coming off this stone block right here. After that's done, we also want to place down a item frame on the side of this block. In that item frame, we're going to place down a red concrete block. And if you're on Java, we'll go ahead and grab ourselves a birchwood sign. And we can place a birchwood sign on the side of the block as well to go ahead and create that nice look there on the side. We're going to then place down an item frame on the side of that block of netherite. And in that, we're going to place down a black stained glass pane. At this point in time, the same thing can be done here that we did on the bottom. So we can either place down that skeleton skull there. Or for us Java players, we'll be going ahead and using the same technique with our lever. So just like that, and we want to make sure that this is activated to face downwards like so. And once we have that all done there, that's pretty much it for the main structure here for this layer. Actually, one thing also we're going to go ahead and throw on is going to be the addition of a zombie head on the side of that black stained glass pane right there, like that. And as well, if you're a Java player, we can also, again, use our debug stick here, and we can actually extend the glass pane forward as well. So very similar to what we did for that wall. We can find the direction it'll be facing forward, so it'll probably be the same direction you did for that wall down there, and we can actually extend the glass pane side forward so it kind of fills the space in a little bit better. Anyways though, that right there is going to pretty much wrap it up for that, and the last thing we really have for this layer is going to be making those banners. So I'm going to go and grab the necessary materials to make those banners, and I'll show you guys here how to make them. Alright guys, so when it comes to basically making the banners here for the windows, they're really simple to make. You're just going to need 2 black banners and 4 light gray dye. We're going to start off by placing down a loom, go into the loom, we're going to place our black banners there and a light gray dye. We're going to do a line here on the left side like so, and a line over on the right side like that for our other banner. Both these banners will be placed back into the loom, and we're just going to place down a line horizontally across the top there with light gray. Same thing here, like so, and you'll get these 2 banners here. These 2 banners will be placed on the side of the second and third glass panes from the front. So again, first one here, second one right after, like that, to go ahead and create those little windows there for what would be a side door. Anyways though, that right there is going to conclude everything we have for layer number 5, and with that, let's move on to layer number 6. Moving on to our next layer, we have layer number 6. For layer 6 to go ahead and get started with here, we're going to place down an iron trapdoor on top of this middle black stained glass block. After that, going back from that, we're going to place down an item frame. We're going to turn this to the night mode, so just like that. We then want to place down another piston right here going back. This could be substituted out for a stone slab or stone stair, whichever you feel looks best. Then another stone block, a block of netherite, 2 stone blocks back from that, another piston. This could be replaced with a stone stair. Then a stone slab, and then a daylight detector here turned to night mode. For the very rear tail, we're going to place down a light gray stainless paint on top of this block, a stone block back from the glass pane, and then an andesite wall on the end there. Going back up to the front, we're going to go ahead and kind of a difference here in the sides. So on the left side here, you're going to place down a stone block, followed by an item frame and a black bed in the item frame facing upwards, and a birchwood sign on the side there if you're on Java. Over here on the right side, however, it's going to be an iron trapdoor like that. We're going to then go back from both sides, an iron trapdoor, and then a skeleton skull. Then 1 and 2 light gray stainless panes, black concrete, 1 and 2 stone blocks, and a piston right here, followed by a skeleton skull at a slight angle like that. This piston here can be substituted. It's a little bit harder to substitute. It could either be substituted out with stairs or a stone full block. You'll have to kind of, again, pick and choose whatever looks best. Now, once we have that done there, we also want to go ahead and place down an item frame on the side here of this glass pane. In that item frame, we're going to place down a red concrete block and then a birchwood sign like so. For us Java players, we can go ahead and extend this glass pane forward if we wanted to. So kind of help connect this up a little bit further and make that look a little bit more fully connected in this area. And also these pistons here can be right-clicked to go ahead and kind of level them out and set them up for our build. And with that all done, that right there is going to basically conclude what we have there for layer 6. As you can see, the shape of the aircraft is really starting to come together. Here's kind of an aerial view of what it looks like from a top-down view, and with that, we're probably going to be moving into our final layers. So with that, let's go ahead and move into our last final layers. Alright guys, so moving into our final layers here, we have layers 7 through 9. To go ahead and get started with here, we're going to place down an anvil on top of this block of netherite right here, like so. We then want to place down a birchwood fence gate coming off this block out to these sides like so. We're going to go then place down an end rod, coming off those fence gates going forward. That piston up there in the front will get reset, so just make sure that you are tracking that and you do go ahead and fix that later on. So that's just going to go around like so. And we then want to go and take our polished blackstone slabs, and we're going to go and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 polished blackstone top slabs coming off those end rods in all directions. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, or sorry, 13. As you'll see here, we do have some problems that do arise, and it's going to be mainly due to this daylight detector. This slab on top of it does cause it to turn night mode. So I'm really not sure what the deal is with this piston actually is in particular. I don't know why it's still activating even when the trapdoors are not being hit by direct sunlight. So either way, we're just going to go ahead and swap that piston out right there for a stair. Instead, kind of unfortunate, but just due to the circumstances, we'll just have to go ahead and do that. And again, this can be set to night mode, and we can go ahead and just fix those trapdoors like so. So hopefully you console players have a little bit of an easier time with that. I know sometimes redstone can be really finicky and funky sometimes. So yeah, we're going to go and do that, and we're going to go ahead and basically take our polished blackstone top slabs, and again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And back here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So this backplate is actually going to be one less. It's actually going to be 12. Mainly just due to the proportions of the aircraft and all that stuff. We don't want it to actually run into the tail, so the backblade is going to be shorter by 1, and that is designed on purpose. Then going to the side here, we're going to do the same thing for polished blackstone top slabs. So we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Or, sorry, 13. And then we want to go and then go to the third slab, and we're going to place down birchwood buttons on top there of those third ones. And then we want to go and then go to the sixth one. So just like this, we're going to place down our birchwood buttons around like that for some yellow striping that was very common on the rotors here of the aircraft. So I'll just go around all the way like that for your main rotors. And then lastly on top here, we're going to place down an item frame on top of this anvil and then a stone block in it. We want to go and then place down item frames on those black concrete blocks like that on these two sides. And we're going to place down iron bars in those iron frames like so. And make sure the iron bars on top here are rotated like so. And the iron bars on the side there can just be left how they will come in. And then also this daylight detector, or this piston here, will probably reset. So make sure that that gets fix back to its normal state as well. And then we're going to go ahead and also place down an iron trapdoor on this stone full block here to both sides, like so. After that, moving back to the tail section here, we're going to place down a stone full block on top of this block here. And we're going to go ahead and place down a skeleton skull coming off this side facing toward the front there, like that. From this, we're going to go back with another stone block and another skeleton skull. We're going to go ahead and grab a birchwood sign, and on the right side here, we're going to place down a birchwood sign. And then on top, we'll place down a iron trapdoor, like so. And after that, we'll go ahead and just grab a polished black stone wall. So we'll probably have to go to our creative menu for that. And we'll place it here. And then coming off that, we're going to place down a block of netherite, like so. In that, or coming off the block of netherite, we're going to go ahead and grab an item frame again. We're going to place down a item frame like so, a iron bar in the item frame, and then we're going to grab a stone block or stone button and place on the side there if you're on Java. So it should look like that on the back. At this point in time, we'll go ahead and then grab ourselves some polished black stone walls and some brick walls. So I'm going to go ahead and go up at an angle from all four corners of that block into the right, down, and up to the sides there with polished black stone walls. And then we're going to switch to brick walls, and we're going to go ahead and basically do just the same thing, going at an angle like that out to the sides, like so. And that right there is going to pretty much wrap up the tail, just trying to make sure we're not missing anything, and everything does pretty much appear to be good to go. So with that, one final thing here that we will do is take a birchwood button and we will place it down the side of this stone block here. And that right there is pretty much it for the main kind of in-flight version, or just, I guess you can say, the version here of the Westland Lynx. With that though, we're going to go ahead and now move into the camouflage, which I'll talk about a little bit in detail, kind of explain my process and how I went through doing it. So with that, let's go ahead and jump into the camouflage. Alright guys, so welcome to our camouflage version here of the Westland Lynx. Now, the camouflage version here is something that is kind of optional to do. However, I do highly recommend it because you are going to get a lot more kind of detail and just a lot more color and make this build really pop, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Now, this build is going to be mainly, or this camouflage is gray and green, kind of a 50-50 ratio mix. Now, the aircraft already should be in a basically a gray camo or color scheme with the stone that we used. However, if you want to go and switch over to a green color scheme, the way I went ahead and did this is I went ahead and use dark oak wood slab stairs, green terracotta, green stained glass panes, zombie heads, mossy cobblestone walls, and then anywhere where there were signs or buttons that were birchwood, I went ahead and used dark oak wood sign or dark oak wood materials instead. And basically, this is what you get here for your final product. I would highly recommend going around Google Images and looking at pictures here of the Westland Lynx in particular and trying to copy that, kind of using the proportions and where stuff lines up on the build to kind of help guide you in the right direction. But you can also use this kind of little spin around here for the tutorial, pausing where needed and kind of copying. The camouflage is exactly the same on both sides, so you will be able to very simply just transfer one side over, and really it's pretty much pretty straightforward. But yeah, you can just see here compared to the normal kind of gray scheme, there's nothing really wrong with it, but this camouflage just kind of elevates it to the next level, I personally think. But yeah, anyways, that right there is going to conclude my tutorial for the in-flight and landed version of the Westland Lynx AH.Mk.1. Hope you guys do enjoy this tutorial and are able to put it to good use. If you do use this build, I do ask you guys give me proper credit for this. Be from a solid build, tweet to my channel or this video if it does appear on any social media links. As long as you guys give me proper credit for your free user for a project you guys are working on, overall enjoy the build, have fun for all that fun stuff. Again, the big special thanks to Patreon supporter Derek Frost Westbrook for making this tutorial possible. And as always, feel free to check my Patreon page. Link is always in my video descriptions. With that, though, thank you guys again so much for watching. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. This has been Garrett204, and I'll see you guys next time.